I've always believed that if you want ownership from your team members, uh, obviously from the leadership perspective, if you want ownership, accountability, you want loyalty, then one thing that is very important is create experiences for your people. I know there are lots of organizations which give loyalty bonuses. You completed 10 years in the company, you get 25,000 rupees and things like that. But the fact is that at the end of their careers, when they are getting retired, they don't remember uh, this money that you've given them, the loyalty bonus. What they'll remember is the experiences. Now, if there's an organization that has attrition issue, lots of people are leaving the company and going, well, that they are doing it because they have a choice. Okay. uh, in earlier days we've heard of people staying in the organization for 35, 40 years, and we say that they were loyal. Well, basically loyalty never existed in the first place. They stayed in the organization because they had no choice. Quite simply, quite honestly and brutally, if we put it. So, what's important in this is, if you want that kind of synergy, then create experiences for people. Now, what do we mean by experiences? Like, for example, somebody is getting promoted. Yeah. Now, what you do is, generally what organizations do is, they announce, or rather they tell that person that you're promoted in the appraisal meeting, and then the person feels good, that employee feels good, and then tells it to everyone else. Now, imagine that if you call up the that employee's father or mother and tell them that, okay, your your son or your daughter has been promoted, and if the parent gives that news to the child, when the whereas the child does not know that he or she has been promoted, imagine the kind of happiness. Now that is basically an experience. Now, this is something which the employee is never going to forget. Like, there's some other examples, like, for example, somebody's completed 10 years in the organization. I have done this myself. So all the team members, we brought a chart paper, we wrote a lot of good things about that person, and laminated it, decorated it, laminated it, and sent it to his house without his knowledge. Along with that, we also sent a gift hamper, a chocolate, or rather a chocolate for his kid, and a coffee box for his wife. Doesn't require too much of investment, and we sent that gift hamper along with this to his wife, and we told her that don't tell him till the time he comes home in the evening. When he reached that evening, he saw all this. His wife was putting up that lamination on the wall, and the child was eating the chocolate and playing with that car, which we had sent through that gift hamper. And wife also showed him the coffee box. And so he actually messaged us. We used to have this work WhatsApp group, and then he just messaged us, you guys are fantastic. He's never going to forget that. You see, if you want to create that experience for your people, you need to think as a leader. Leaders these days need to think very creatively, because you need to be there for your people, not only in the work area, but you need to be an all areas of life leader. Another thing that I used to do is, I had brought this chart paper, I pasted it on the wall in the office, drew a big circle on it, and divided that circle into 12 sectors. Now, 12 sectors was for 12 months, and divided each sector into 30 or 31 or 28, depending on which month it was. I had written each and every person's birthday on it. Not only birthday, but each and every team member's wedding anniversary, or if that person has a child, I had written the child's birthday as well. So if I am planning any meeting as such, I would first look at that. And by the way, that circle was visible to each and every team member. So I would first look at that circle and decide. So if I realize that this meeting might just clash with somebody's child's some child's birthday, I would shift that meeting. Now that gives an impression that my manager or my leader doesn't only think about work. My manager also thinks about my life, personal life. is totally committed to my life. So, you do such things. I've just given you two, three examples of how you can create experiences for your people. And I'm sure you can think of many more. If you do implement such things and create experiences for your people, I'm sure what will happen one day is if they want to resign and move out of the organization, they are going to think 10 times, and they are going to say to themselves, am I going to find a manager or a leader or a team like this ever in any other organization? They are going to think like that. And that basically might just stop them. See, anyways, people might just leave anyway. Okay. But uh, by doing this, you are in a way uh, building that ownership thing in them, that accountability thing in them. And this is how we go about creating focus on creating experiences, because people don't leave companies, they leave managers or their leaders. I'm sure you've heard of this. A manager or a leader builds bridges of communication, bridges of motivation. So if you keep these things in mind, I'm sure you'll be a fantastic leader. Thank you.